So we've got 20 hours on the brand new Scorpa. 20 hours is enough to discover what kind of flaws we can have with that bike. And I've got quite an annoying flaw that I've discovered on the bike. Let's check it out right now. You know what this is? That's Cinderella's glass shoe. You know what this is? This is 2023 Scorpa factory foot peg. Both are quite fragile if you drop them. And honestly, I've gone through two pegs here. And you can see the twist in them. So to me, and one of these, I would say arguably one of these drops was a little heavier when it fell on the rock. This one was dirt. The bike just fell over in the dirt. So what I don't understand is there's a couple of things that bother me about the 2023 bike. First of all, they've redesigned the pegs. We used to have the S3 hard rock pegs on all the previous factory bikes. They redesigned these to make them look similar to a TRS peg. It's still quite a bit different. It's super weak. Also, what they've changed is the bump stop on the end of these pegs. So here's a comparison for an S3 peg. What happens is on the new style bike, let me turn them around this way. So if I line up hole to hole, you can see there's about 3/16 of a difference on length. So this is the bump stop that goes against the frame, and that's what stops the peg from overturning downwards. If you were to install the S3 pegs, there is a mod, and I'll tell you about it in a second. What I want to talk about is this. So you make a new peg and you do not reinforce the weak point. So you're essentially providing us with a flat plane. It's flat, it's got no support on the bottom. These gussets are absolutely useless. They protect, I would say, the outwards of the peg, but look at the twist. This is just falling over in dirt. And I don't know what you guys are thinking and how many pros are actually damaging these, but it really takes a high rock and you're trying to squeeze in between a spot, you're gonna whack it, this thing bends. This one is bent even more. So that's my 20-hour pet peeve on this bike. I'm disappointed. They were fairly comfortable. It's not like the gas pegs where they just don't feel comfortable on the feet. These were pretty good, but the weakness of them, this is not acceptable. So the difference on the TRS pegs is, and I'm going to show a photo in the video, TRS, just like the S3 hard rock pegs, they provide a bottom. It's almost like an L shape. They cup the bottom of these. So now you have an L-shaped material instead of flat, and that creates a lot of rigidity. So if you do hack it, it's not going to deform. This one deformed quite easily. And there is no bracing. So you can actually cup the whole bottom perimeter of this peg and eliminate this bracing over here. So that creates a fall away for all the dirt and sticks and all the junk that you collect while riding. This bracing is, even though you have a flat brace here, that deformed as well. I'll take this one as a bit more visual. So that being said, this is what you guys would have to expect if you're getting the 23 and up Shercos, unless they do change the pegs for 24s. For the 23s, that's what's gonna happen. Now, the cup shape, what I'm talking about is, you can see the bottom is got an extra material, so it's cupped into an L shape, zero supports in the middle. So that's S3 hard rock pegs, and these are the pegs that came on all factory Scorpas, at least from what I remember, 2017, 2018 and up to 22s. Awesome pegs, and actually quite a little bit wider. So on your feet, it's more comfortable. Now we've talked about the back stop not being long enough on S3, so they've made this quite a bit longer than desired from previous years. If you are installing S3 pegs, what you're gonna notice is, let me grab this side. This is your difference, 3/16 of an inch, different height. So the S3 comes up, I would say, less than a 1/16 under the frame. And if you're a lighter rider, you might be alright. If you're a heavier rider, you're gonna start mushrooming this edge. So as you're providing force on the pegs downwards, this is gonna start mushrooming out. And I'm gonna play in this video my way of modifying these. I've put them on the milling machine. I've drilled and tapped to an M3 size. I've done the ends here, and I've added a 3/16 block. So now those pegs are equivalent lengths to these, and that makes a huge difference. It's honestly, it's kind of nice to be back on the S3 pegs. So it's a lot of money, but these things are indestructible. I've yet to see one that's been broken. I'm sure somebody has broken these before, but they're super stout. These are the curved ones, by the way. These are not standard centered. Very stout pegs, so they are lighter than this. So guess what? You're shaving off more weight on your Scorpa, even though they've already shaved off a lot of weight, by getting rid of these pegs and putting these on, even though it's only a few grams. Let's take a look at the bike and see what they look like. So these are the hard rocks installed with the mod. Let's zoom in and I'll show you where that bump stop is. So if you look closely on the inside, you can see the silver piece of aluminum there. And if I close up the peg, see if we can zoom in even more. Nope, that's max. And if I zoom in the peg, if I close the peg, you only have about a 1/16, so just over a millimeter of contact point. And that over time will probably mushroom out a bit under my weight at least. So I've done the mod. Let's look underneath. Alright, so we're under the bike and I've done the mod. This is what I've added, as I've added that block. So now you've got a lot of surface area you can come in and land on. So if I don't expect anybody to be able to do these things, you do need a milling machine for it, but this is quite mandatory to do until S3 releases a new version of these pegs for the 23 and up Scorpas. So there you have it. That's my 2 cents on the things I don't like this 20-hour review on the bike. Right now we're gonna watch some footage of Sean Bird giving us some training. There's nothing spectacular, but it's just us doing obstacles back and forth, trying to better ourselves at technique and getting a few pointers from the Canadian pro. Once again, Sean, thanks a lot. You rock. I love having lessons with you. And it's just a sea of Scorpas riding around. We'll catch you guys on the next one. I've got some awesome reviews coming up. We're gonna look at some riding boots, some new riding areas, possibly new bike reviews too. Awesome, stay tuned. Thanks for watching. He's putting it quite low, eh?
Yeah, we were talking about that.
Okay. He's pretty much touching it right
The
now.
front tire.
Yeah.
Yeah, the tire low. But the amount back.
See, to me, this is a great place to try that. But in a trial, why would you double blip that?
No.
What would be the only reason is if you have something to contend with where you have to hold pressure, right? So great place to learn the technique, but in a trial, I would not do that. I would just zap it more, right? I would just my body working on that roll up.
That's right there, it's so flat.
roll up, and then almost just spun there. Roll up. There you go. Yeah. Good use of body there, though. I think you might run up.
I don't know. I'm not with as much kind of.
I feel like you're not really. You're like wheeling to the top and then rolling instead of just rolling up. I feel like your rear wheel is. Your front wheel is kind of. You're going, and then you're lifting, and then you're rolling through it. So try and just roll through it the whole way, keeping your front wheel on the ground. Still wheelied into it a bit.
Was I wheeling it? Should I be pushing the front end down? I guess I'm trying to figure out how to roll the front tire over without wheeling it. So as soon as I get to the top with the front wheel, do I push forward with the bike, or?
I lean forward, yes. Like my body is leaning forward.
Comes forward.
Yeah.
To
Anytime I'm
counteract the
going up,
wheelie.
my body positioning goes. If I'm going up something, my body positioning is going forward, unless I'm doing an extreme negative step. So if this was not going this way, but
Like
completely
undercut?
vertical,
Yeah.
then I would have to extend back and hold back.
Get on that.
But that only comes into play when you're doing extreme negatives or like splats where you have to hold pressure over something, or right? So I think you're mixing techniques a little bit. You literally lifted. You're pretty much zapping, but without a lot of force. You're like zap rolling up.
Right.
Pretty much a roll up.
Okay, I was thinking I was rolling up.
Yeah,
but
you
I
were
can...
pretty much rolling up. But what I would like to see is if you can keep your front wheel on the ground the whole time.
Okay, so is that
Instead
a
of
roll
lifting, instead of blipping into a roll up, you're rolling up, and you're. It's like we really like, as I was saying before, we want to stay stuck to the ground. We want these bikes to feel like glue. We're not bouncing around. We're trying to track through everything and really create that traction. We don't want to pop up. We don't want to. It's creating a smooth effect. He double blipped it without a big unweight.
So rolling it.
Just rolling it.
It feels so natural to hit it as low as you do.
Yeah.
But that low hit helps your lift.
Helps that rebound from the fork get the lift. Yeah.
But it just feels like if you go any lower, you're gonna endo.
Yeah.
It's like right on the edge.
Yeah. That's it.
So I'll get back. Sort of or not, or how do I?
That's the right idea.
The front wheel certainly forward right
Yeah. It's like you're fighting it at the top. You're like, oh shit, and going like that, right?
shouldn't be doing that.
Where you want to keep your front wheel and then move your body forward and just crest through it. where
Ah.
you're keeping your front wheel on, and then you're like, ah, where like that's not necessary here, right? So it's just roll up, body forward,
Okay, I'll try
ride
that.
out in control.
I
tracking
know what
through.
to do there. So that's
All good.
It's not. It's my body position. It's almost like a smaller rock now that I'm trying that stuff. Big. Buy a box, start jumping on it tonight.
Nice. That was nice.
Yeah.
Still a little high, Don. You're placing it on instead of creating that. It's like you're dropping it on.
Yeah, I was trying to get the back wheel to come on.
But if you get the suspension, yeah, you're just rolling through.
Okay, double flip. Double flip still. What the hell am I doing now? Exhaust pipe.
Yes, that was better. You got more lift.
Felt like I got good lift.
You did. And your front wheel was lower. Slav, you've got the throttle control. It's just the body. Right? And you've got the what you're doing with your throttle and your
throttle
flip
control.
straight. It's literally a lack of the unweight.
My legs are always dead.
Yeah.
That's my problem, my life problem.
Yeah. Needs to be way more aggressive.
Yeah, speed. Yeah, I will.
Not speed. Not speed. Not speed. It's like this. Dig a hole. Wow. Go for a backflip.
Okay.
Too high with the front wheel placement.
Is it a throttle? Like, is there a clutch drop?
There's a double flip without a clutch, and there's a double bit flip with clutch. So
You want to do one?
but there's nothing.
That's almost.
I think. Yeah, he's got that explosiveness in his muscle. I got a different muscle.
Hold pressure on the